Hey, it's Ethan here at etrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the RockyMounts MonoRail 2-bike platform style bike rack and how it fits on our 2022 Chrysler Pacifica. This is the 2-bike version, but there is a 3-bike version available as well. You just add on that one piece to make it a 3-bike if you want that. But it's going to be a platform style rack, like I mentioned, which means it holds our bike up by the bottom through these trays and cradles. Has a weight capacity of 60 pounds per bike, and it's going to hold on to our bike primarily with this front wheel mount here and one additional strap down at the bottom. So there's no frame contact. You can get most of the bikes that you want to get on here, and like carbon frame, alternative frame bikes, you not need to worry about frame or potentially being damaged while you're moving, because we do make that primary contact with our tire. It also does have a really nice feature where we have the ability to tilt the bike rack away with the bikes loaded up. So to do that, we're going to pull this blue handle that we have down here at the bottom. It's nice that it's located in the front, so if you have 2 bikes loaded up, you don't need to reach through one, and it tilts aggressively enough that we do actually have hatch access. That being said, it does come really close, so I'm actually just going to flex the bike down and away just a little bit to make sure. We tested it before and it didn't make contact, but I like to have that extra little bit of security. And now if I wanted to, I could sit down before or after the ride, change my shoes, and now would be the time to get anything out of the back that I would need once I get there. So we tested a lot of racks, and not a lot of them have had the ability to tilt far enough away to get full hatch access, so that really sets this one apart already. Tilting it back up, you hear it click into place, and now we can get the bike removed. To do that, the first thing I'm going to get rid of is our secondary point of contact, being this back strap here. So press that blue button, get the strap out, just lay it there for now. Hold on to the frame of our bike, because once we loosen up this front mount, it's going to start to move. Press this blue button here. Everything is color coordinated, so we know what everything is and what it does, and we can get our bike up and off. So I'll set this off to the side. And in the meantime, you can take a closer look at that front cradle. You can see that there are a couple of different grooves for different tire sizes, whether it's your road bike, mountain bike, or even up to a fat bike tire, because we do have the ability to support up to a 5-inch tire width with this rack. And this does fold down to save a little bit of space when we're not using it. Same thing with the center mast. We'll lower that down. That folds out of the way as well. And this back cradle does have the ability to pivot to support different wheelbases, in this case up to 48 inches. From here though, I'm actually going to get some measurements so we can see what it's like to live with this on the back of your vehicle. Starting with how much distance we're adding on from the bumper to the furthest point back. It's going to be 31.5 inches, so right around the average of what a 2-bike platform rack is going to stick out. Nothing crazy to report there. As far as ground clearance goes, from about the ground to where this lever is going to sit, it's going to be pretty close to 16 inches. So we have a nice rise in the shank. The Pacifica doesn't sit super high, but the rack comes up high enough that I'm not going to be super worried about anything as far as bottoming out, going up hills, or over curbs. If we want to, though, using that same lever we used before, we can fold the rack up towards the vehicle. And it does get a little bit close here, but not close enough that it's going to make contact. And I'll get that measurement just to give you an idea of exactly how close it's going to be. So from the cradle here to the bumper, you have about 2 inches from where this point here sits, but as you can see, it's not going anywhere. And now from the bumper to the furthest point out, it's only going to be about 11 inches. So we do save a good amount of space that way. It sits close, but again, not going to make any contact. The rack does sit low enough that if you're in another vehicle, you should have plenty of room to see our license plate here. Our backup camera is right here, so you're definitely going to see the rack out of the bottom of that, but it's not going to do enough to obstruct the view completely, and you're going to be able to see cars or people behind you. Also, it does sit low enough that it's not going to interfere with our taillights at all or our rear window. If we want to come down here, we can take a look at how it fits into the hitch receiver. And you can also see that we do have this post here for your cable lock to fit in there. But as far as the shank goes, we do have a 2-inch shank that fits into our 2-inch hitch receiver. It's held in place by an anti-rattle bolt with a lock that would be key-like to your cable lock that I just mentioned. So with that in place, you can see I'm shaking the whole vehicle. The rack isn't going anywhere at all. It's built really well. I actually really like the monorail a lot in general as a bike rack. So if you're looking for a really high quality value option, a way to get up to 60-pound bikes where you need them to go, doesn't make any frame contact, tilts far enough away that we do have full hatch access, folds up when we're not using it, and you have that 3-bike add-on, it is a really, really solid choice. The only way I would see maybe upgrading this would be stepping up to something like the Kuat NV 2.0. It has a built-in bike repair stand, a lot of similar features. You can check out the product videos we have on both of these products. But again, if you are looking for a really solid value option, a way to get 2 or up to 3 bikes where you need them to go, going to hold them really securely and be a really nice looking rack at the same time, the RockyMounts MonoRail is a really nice option. I like this bike rack a lot. This is just a quick look at how it works and how it fits on our 2022 Chrysler Pacifica.